All right, we know him, we love him, but is Erik Johnson's time with the Colorado Avalanche coming officially this time to an end? Let's talk about that in a new episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
You're Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Maselli, and with me, as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. That's always appreciated. If you would like to get in on the conversation, then join our subtext. Link is in the show notes below. You chat with Zach and I one-on-one, get your opinion, everything Avalanche related, and share it on this very podcast. On today's episode, sir, we do have more jersey announcements, none of which are the Colorado Avalanche yet. We are still waiting with bated breath for these new jerseys that we're not even sure are exactly coming. We've just heard that they were somewhere. So we're just going to run with it until the season starts and they have the same third jersey they've had for the past however many years.
We are holding out hope, man. We are holding out hope.
We've been doing this, like, as these jerseys are announced, we'll talk about it. We'll throw them up here if you're watching on YouTube and talk if we like them, if we dislike them. The two teams that came out with them yesterday were the Washington Capitals and the Detroit Red Wings. So we'll talk about those guys. Are the injuries already starting for the Avalanche? The injuries and the Avs are kind of just synonymous. So we'll talk about that. But where we're going to start today, sir, is, like we said right on the top, it was Jesse over at Guerrilla Sports put up a post saying that he has heard that Erik Johnson has 3 offers for a PTO that he is weighing, but none of those 3 are from the Avalanche. So when you just see that on the surface, you're kind of like, okay, well, does that mean the writing's on the wall for him and the Avalanche? Could be. What's your take on it? We'll kind of get into this a little bit, but what's your overall take on if that is it? You okay with that?
I mean, I want EJ to do whatever's going to be best for EJ, right? He's given us a Stanley Cup. He gave us so many years through some horrible seasons and managed to find his way to lift the cup with us. So if he can get himself a contract, play another season on a team and make a little bit more money doing something he loves, all the power to him. Do I want him to retire as a member of the Colorado Avalanche? 100%. I think that would be amazing. But I also am not a person who can talk out of both sides of my mouth. I spent a whole episode talking about how Sidney Crosby should probably go on in order to play better hockey in a fit that works better for him. If the Avalanche organization doesn't feel like they can fit EJ and they haven't extended that offer to him, then EJ should play wherever he can play, man. I want to see him continue to have that career. Again, I'd love it to be in an Avalanche sweater. I can understand entirely if it's somewhere else.
Yeah, to get to that comment about retiring with the Avalanche, I think everybody we all want these, like, John Elway retirement, like riding off into the sunset type of things. And that's why now, back in 2022, we were saying, like, should he retire? Yeah. And, it's tough to tell these guys to hang it up. Like, they just have such love for the sport. And that goes for any pro athlete, really. Just, it's tough to tell them, you're done. And if there's a team out there that says, we don't think you're done, come play for us, and you want to go do that, I'll never tell a guy to look at Jack Johnson. He's still going. Like, it's fine. Like Brent Burns is still going. Like, but can you be productive in some fashion? Like, these guys are not going to be playing top minutes. They don't expect to play top minutes. They just want to keep playing. And if it's for a competitive team, great. If it's not, I think they're happy just being out there, being part of a locker room, being part of a team, and they can look back on, I don't think this, like, diminishes, like, when guys do this, when they, like, the whole Shaquille O'Neal thing, jumping around from team to team, like, we're not looking back on Shaq's career and like, oh my God, he played for, I like that one meme where it's like his jerseys make like a rainbow.
I haven't
I don't
seen
think
that. That's
you
awesome.
haven't seen. Oh yeah, like literally, like all the colors of his jerseys that he wore literally make a rainbow. I don't think he was intentionally doing that. It's just tough to tell these guys to stop. So if he wants to keep playing and he can find a team, and apparently there's 3 of them that are at least going to give him a tryout,
Yeah,
go for it. And as far as the retirement thing, like I love what Marc-Andre Fleury's doing.
yes.
If you saw that, like, you get, I'm not a big fan of these like 1-day or 10-day contracts, whatever they sign, but this one I get because he's doing it for like, he's doing a preseason game back where it all started for him. I'm okay with that. It's a fun story. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that's what Erik Johnson wants to do. It's that, I mean, if he's entertaining PTOs, he wants to get out there and play. And we'll cross the bridge of whenever you're going to retire, if you can make it work with the Avs in one of these contracts to make it all nice and glitzy, fine. But I want to get your take on that, and then talk about like, should the Avalanche bring him back? But go ahead.
So, on the 1-day contract thing, I've never been a huge fan of, but I do think it's kind of nice sometimes to get the guy to just sign, like, to take it to like a Denver related topic there. If Von Miller decided to sign a 1-day contract with the Broncos to retire a Bronco, I would probably be like, okay, cool. The way Marc-Andre Fleury is doing it is so much better. I love the fact that he gets to play in a preseason game, but he gets to play in a game for the team, and that's how you go out. That's how you retire. I think that's wonderful.
Right.
As a side note on that, I also love his Instagram post announcing that he's signing the PTO, where he's sitting there in a bathrobe with 3 mini Stanley Cups, all 3 of his Stanley Cup rings on his fingers, signing the contract. Like, yeah, it's
that's a
perfect.
boss move.
Oh yeah. And so should EJ do something like that in the future, like next year, if he decides to hang it up and sign a PTO with the Avs to retire an Av, then it's got to be EJ shirtless in the bed with like with a cup and signing on the cup or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Got to be like that. But I do think that's a great way to do it. I also 100% think if he still feels he can play and a team is going to give him the opportunity to play, you got to take that, man, because you only have a limited number of years in the league. And he's lucky to play as long as he has. I feel like he's gotten a longer career than a lot of guys could. And if you still feel like you can go, then I would say go for it, man. If I was able to play in the NHL at any level or any time in my life, I'd want to hold on to that for as long as I could. So I totally get where he's coming from. On your last point,
yeah,
I think we're going to have to touch on that in the next segment.
Well, because we're kind of bringing up injuries, right?
Yep.
So we'll talk about those injuries, like you said, in a minute. But even if those injuries were not like in play right now, like, should it be the Avalanche to bring him back for this year, just because of what he can offer you? Or is it that's just getting too old on a team that is kind of aging a little bit? You brought in Brent Behrens, and not even to bring in Erik Johnson again, knowing that he's not going to be playing every day, but just that guy that's on the roster. And if you got to slot him in because of injury, you feel comfortable doing it. And when he's not playing, he's one of the most beloved guys in the locker room. So he brings that aspect to what this team could be, even though he's not playing. And he's not going to cost you anything. I mean, the Avs I had it up on Puck Beat, where they have like 1.33 million left. Yeah. I think they would love to keep that right there. They have 23 out of 23 roster signed. So they're fine in terms of like their makeup. So I feel like if they were going to sign him, they would have done it by now. Yeah. So if they're bringing him in, it would probably be on a PTO. Maybe somebody needs to get cut to make room for him, but who is that going to be? That's a whole nother discussion. It's just, should the Avalanche, or should they have already considered him for those purposes, not to be a guy that you're going to rely on. Clearly those days are over for him, but all of the extras that he could bring to the franchise that loves him and the fans that love him.
Intangibles are a thing, man. 100%. Like there are people that you sign for more than just what they bring to the like instantly recognizable pieces of the game. EJ is a huge intangibles guy, 100%. I think with the limited cap space that they have, I still feel like the Avs are probably toying with another something up their sleeves. I don't know what. And also you kind of got to wonder, like, if they were looking to move a player or bring someone in, maybe they're waiting to extend a contract to someone like Erik Johnson until they feel they've finished all their moves. And if they didn't get what they were hoping for, maybe that doesn't leave room for Erik Johnson. I just don't know. It's, this is all speculation, and I think there's so many different things that could factor into it. I think I just kind of circle back to the same spot I was at. I would love to see him play again in an Avalanche sweater. I am okay with him playing somewhere else in the league, because if that guy can still play, he should still play.
Yeah. And one of the, potential reasons why they could have brought him back is, like we're saying, there's already injuries piling up for the Colorado Avalanche. And we want to talk about those. One of them is on the defensive side. So let's get our first break in, and when we come back, we will discuss all of that nonsense already. First, we're going to hear from FanDuel. The NFL season is, of course, here, and FanDuel is making sure that you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. And right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That is FanDuel.com, and put in that first $5 bet today. All right, so kind of picking up with the EJ talk and kind of tying it into where things are right now, even pre-training camp, official training camp right now. So there's injuries happening already. Two of the ones that we're going to talk about here are Sam Girard and Mackenzie Blackwood. We'll start with Sam Girard because we're talking defense. So, is that something that comes into play here? The Sam Girard injury, not 100% on exactly what it is, or Brendan Vogt, friend of the show. I was talking with him earlier, and I think even he had a post up about it, how he was saying, like, he didn't look like he wasn't convinced that Sam Girard looks like he's close.
Yeah.
What, close to what? Like the beginning of the season, it didn't look like that. Is kind of how Brennan was phrasing it. So I don't want to get into like what the injury is or how long could hold him out. It's what do the Avs do to address that? And is it someone like Erik Johnson, or do the Avs feel like it's time to incorporate these young guys and get these young guys in the mix? Because Erik Johnson's 37 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's his birthday? I don't have his birthday up here, but
I'm not sure. But he definitely is pushing that age. And we talked about
he'll be 38 in March. So
okay. And we talked about the rookie showcase, and we talked about a couple of those guys. And one name that popped up was Sean Behrens. And you and I talked about this off the show. You said this could be a year where he gets an opportunity. I said, I really hope not, because that would mean injuries. And here we are staring down the barrel of injuries. So, like, you could definitely bring EJ in for something like that, but it also could be the time to start taking some of these guys that you've got in your pipeline and see if we really are a number 32 pipeline, or if some of these guys can slot in and play right away.
Well, because it's like, what do you think you're going to get from Erik Johnson? And you kind of know what you're going to get from him. Do you feel like you can get that with kind of unproven guys right now? That's a big question for those. It's not really a question for Erik Johnson so much. I mean, he's another year older, so you're like, you just hope that, the wheels haven't completely fallen off if you put him out there. But I think the Avalanche feel like we're pretty confident, if we did, and if he signed here, they've put him out there, we could rely on him for 10 minutes a night, not to completely just screw everything up. Or do they go the route of, like I said, got to get these younger guys in the mix at some point? Maybe this is that year for them to, show what they're worth, have them get those 10, 11 minutes a night. But that's the risk that you're running of just kind of like unproven players. I don't know where one of the guys I'm going to be keeping an eye on throughout the preseason is if this for the Dell'Elche is going to play. Francisco Dell'Elche is going to play. I think they feel like they got a good one in him that could do something like that, like slot him in if necessary. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. But I'm going to be watching his play during these preseason games if he's thrown in there. Because if he's given an opportunity, he could be a guy that's like, we love you, Erik Johnson, but, sometimes you got to fire the people that have been there a while because the younger guys don't cost as much. I don't know. I at some point, you do need to move on from a sports relationship, and maybe the Avalanche are just feeling that it is time for Erik Johnson, them to move on from Erik Johnson and give the young guys an opportunity. Could be that.
It very well could. Like I said, I think Behrens is probably the one I would try to pull up there relatively quick on that. And you do also have Keaton Middleton to play some.
Yep.
But I mean, there's a couple of pieces that you can slot in, which also does make Erik Johnson kind of like maybe somebody to move on from. So like defensive injury wise, I'm a huge Sammy G supporter. I hate seeing the guy injured again because I think he's an excellent guy. I think he's a good player, and I think he's an even better person from everything that I see just surrounding the team. But I'm a little more concerned about the other injury that we touched on as well, and that would be Mackenzie Blackwood.
Yes. We'll talk about Blackwood quickly, just as the final thought. Yeah. You mentioned Behrens. Yes, Behrens. I mentioned Dell'Elche. You mentioned Keaton Middleton.
Yep.
And there's also Alex Gagne, who they signed.
Yeah, that's true.
So they have a handful of guys, I think, that they just want to give an opportunity to. And that's kind of why I just feel like Erik Johnson's not in their mix right now.
Yeah.
Yes, Mackenzie Blackwood. That's the one where everybody is like, come on, like, are we doing this already? And again, going back to Brennan. He posted this a few days ago. He was at practice and he heard Blackwood kind of, I don't want to say yell out in agony, but gave an audible yell that Brendan could hear from where he was sitting. And then you fast forward and he took the ice in practice on Monday, so yesterday, and did the same thing.
Yeah.
Tried to make a save. I don't know if it's a kick save, butterfly save, whatever it was, and did it again. So the severity of it, don't know right now, but from those accounts, we're going doom and gloom when we hear this stuff right now at this stage in the game. It's like, what is going on here?
Part of that is just the offseason, I feel like, because there's nothing else to talk about. Like, if Blackwood got injured in game 3, it'd be like, oh no, Blackwood's injured, but let's look at all the other things that are happening. Right now it's, oh no, Blackwood's injured. Crap, Blackwood's injured. What's going to happen? We're all doomed. So
panic.
I do
nobody
think
panic.
There's probably a little bit more craziness around it right now because it is still off season and getting close to training camp.
Right.
But it is also like, I think as an Avs fan, we're all a little gun shy when it comes to anything injury related because we seem to be, I mean, Bednar had the most players of any team play under him last season. I mean, please don't let us do that again. I don't want to do that again. I want to see a healthy Avalanche squad make it through the vast majority of the season. And with an injury to Blackwood, I believe in Scott Wedgwood. We talked about it. We both kind of think that Wedgie could play more games and do well in that role. I at least feel comfortable with that. But then you have Trent Miner, who does really well. Again, Avs legend, stopped every shot from Alex Ovechkin. Mm-hmm. So you're always going to hang your hat on that. But doesn't he have to clear waivers too if we have to pull him back up?
Let's
think he
here.
does.
Minor, he's 24. Let's see. He's not on an entry-level contract anymore. He does. I think you might have to.
Yeah. And so now you're going with already a kind of depleted goalie, like lower goalie room. Trent Miner's good. Posh, he seems to be playing okay. We watched him in the rookie showcase, so like he could do all right, but we don't really know at an AHL or NHL level. And we're still a couple years off probably for Nabokov till maybe next season we see him start to enter into the Avalanche organization. And I don't want to be in a position where Miner could get scooped up. And then it's like, oh, well, what happens if another injury comes around? So let's hope this is something that he can rehab from and get back into playing.
Yeah, I think right now we're all just like, oh, it's only middle of September and regular season is so far away and he'll be fine. And no, it's not that far away. Was it 20 days now? 21 days or something like that? And you saw them all out on a golf outing. They had some golf outing that they were doing. They were playing like Survivor in someone's backyard or something like that so you're looking at that stuff and you're like, oh, this is all fun. Let's focus on that right now and not the potential catastrophic injury to Mackenzie Blackwood, because I don't want to think about that right now. Middle of September, he'll be fine for game one. Let's just keep telling ourselves he'll be fine for game one. But if we've known anything, being an Avalanche fan, as even just the past handful of years, it's like guys get injured and they're out like the maximum amount of time. Like if you hear it's like 8 to 12 weeks, it's 12 weeks.
Yeah.
However, on the flip side of that, it does sound like Logan O'Connor is doing pretty well in his rehab. So
let's not jinx it. Knock on all the wood there. But I mean, I saw the same thing, right? I think Brennan posted that as well. I think I've seen it on a couple of other people that have posted it too, that have been down and around the skates. It does look like he's progressing well. Okay. So let's hope that continues. But
it's also when he comes back, who's going out? Because that's just the revolving door that's been with the Avalanche. And, here we are just so excited about the goalie tandem that the Avalanche have. And, already we're like, oh boy, I'm with you. I like Scott Wedgwood. Do I want to rely on him every game in the beginning of the season? No, I don't want to do that though.
Not quite, no. And he's an awesome guy, but
he's great. He's great. But, his role is not to be the number one guy night in, night out. I mean, if we hear something about this with Blackwood and it's like, hey, he's going to miss like the first 2 weeks of the season. Okay.
Right.
I can live with that. And that's where I'm going with this is I feel like we're hearing this injury, that he's got an injury. And the way that Brennan described it of just he's able to hear an audible
pain.
yelp from him. We're like, in my mind, I'm like, and being the history of the Avalanche injuries, I'm immediately going to the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that is right now because the season hasn't even started yet. But if it is, once we do start getting some injury reports and we hear, he's hurt, but he'll be all right. He just needs a couple weeks. It's like, okay, I can stomach that. But is whatever this is, I mean, if he's trying to go from side to side and he's making leg saves, as if this is a groin thing or something like that, that's going to be nagging all year long.
Yeah.
All year long. And I just don't want to deal with that for a goalie. We have a lot of faith in and support behind. So,
and really think he's going to do well. Yeah. So let's, I agree. Let's try to shift that mindset back to the beginning of the year's plenty far away. Everything's going to be great.
Sure. It's forever down the road. So
it's
we got plenty of time.
Roses. Yep.
Yeah. He's got plenty of time to heal. So again, do the Miyagi hand rub and we'll be okay.
You think Danielson perfected that? Because we could get him up here to help out with that.
Oh, absolutely. He's an Islanders fan though, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that means that he likes Devon Tays, so
that is true.
So he'll come help out Tays' teammate.
Pay it forward.
That's what we're going with. Yep.
Pay it forward. I like it. All right. All right. Let's get our last break in here and Jersey talk, but they're not the Avalanche. We'll get them someday. We'll take our last break and get to these jerseys that were announced. Do we like them? Do we hate them? Let's talk about it. First, let's hear from Indeed, because you just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Just use Indeed, and when it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs puts your post at the top of the page and helps you reach the right candidates faster. And now you can speed up your hiring process with a $75 sponsored job credit. Just go to indeed.com/lockedon right now and support Locked On Avalanche by saying you heard about Indeed on this very podcast. Terms and conditions apply. And if you're hiring, Indeed is all that you need. More jerseys are coming into the NHL in the fashion of third jerseys. Are the Red Wing ones? Are they third jerseys? Or are they wearing those all year long? I didn't see the. I saw the video.
Yeah.
Which again, these videos are just killing me. Just show, just head to toe. Please just show the uniform. But they just keep doing these close-ups and dark camera like angles. It's like, it's driving me crazy. Whatever. I don't know what you want to do the Red Wings first? Get to the Red Wings.
Yeah, we can go with the Red Wings first.
I think they announced first, so we'll start with them. So this is, their 100th season specialty jersey that they're wearing.
Yep.
Again, I don't know if this is like a third jersey or if they're going to be wearing these for their home jerseys all year long. But that's the best picture I could find, which shows most of it. You just don't see maybe the lines on the bottom of the jersey, which, okay, whatever. But I like it's predominantly red. I'm not a fan. I'm again with these, the lighting with these things is just terrible. Are those gloves black?
I thought they were red, like a dark.
Are they red?
I thought, but I would have to double check that because this is a dark picture.
It is. And they didn't really give you a lot of great looks of it. But either way, even if they're like a dark red, I don't like that. That's the only thing I don't like about this is the gloves. I would have went like, go brown gloves. If you're going like 100th anniversary, go old school.
Make it old school.
Brown gloves. Just do like the leather, like the almost yellowy brown. Just go that route. But
yeah.
Overall thoughts on these?
I love it. The dark red gloves I'm totally okay with. I love the captain's patch being the leather patch with the C on it. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. I don't like the Red Wings. I've never liked the Red Wings. That was ingrained in me from a young, like very first anything with the Avalanche when I'm, 7, 8 years old is we don't like the Red Wings. We're not
right.
Yeah. We all hate them. So it is painful every time they do something like this because they keep releasing these awesome jerseys. And I think this one looks fantastic. I think it totally captures that 100-year anniversary. It feels old school while still being modern. It feels clean, which I think is a word I use a lot on jerseys, but I think that's really important.
Yeah.
God, it just looks sharp. The 100 patch on the shoulder, the way that the logo is done on the front too, like the little details that you see all the way through it, the stitching looks phenomenal. This thing is fire. As the youth would say.
It's got the old school vibe to it. But I think I was talking with Shorzy on subtext about it because he liked him too. And I'm like, yeah, they're not like the Red Wings have a great logo and they've made great jerseys and they don't screw with it too much. Yeah. Like every time they release something new, it's a pretty simple variation on this. And if you like this, you're going to like everything that they come out with. They just kind of change things up around everything else. They don't mess with the logo all that much. So it's like, yeah, you got, a good amount of like lines on halfway down the sleeves, kind of on the bottom. I like the D on the pants. That's kind of cool. What I really like is in this other picture I'm going to bring up here. This is one that they had with Alex DeBrincat. Like you can see the numbers are like that old, and the numbers and the letters on the back are that old school, like fuzzy material.
Like a stitched on legitimate leather. Yes. Or not letter, not leather.
Yeah. That's what to me, that's the cat's meow right there.
Oh yeah.
Is that you're going back to the heyday. And I think that's the best part by far of this jersey. So it's fine. It's a Red Wings jersey. Like I said, if you like the look of a Red Wings jersey, you're going to like this. And I think they did a good job with it. Can't
Yeah,
complain.
I think they crushed this
Can't
one.
complain. The other one that came up were the Washington Capitals, and this one is a third jersey for the season. So again, if you're watching over on YouTube, there it is. That thing is loud. There's a lot going on. It is that Screaming Eagle logo that they use every once in a while. But just, I mean, that thing is colorful. You got white on the shoulders. You got, the lines on the sleeves, on the bottom. Like, I like this stuff. I like the crazier, the better. Not that this is crazy, but there's a lot going on here where the Red Wings was just, I want to say, dare I say, like simple? I use the word clean. You use that word. And this is not. This is like dirty, but this is a good dirty. I like this. I like this a lot.
It's loud, but it's not overcomplicated. I think the colors play with each other well enough. I love the eagle across the front. I love the white shoulders with the Capitals logo on either shoulder. But it's not like so wildly out there and so much trying to be crammed in. Like you see some of these logos pop out for different sporting teams and they're like, oh, and we added this little detail here to represent whatever part of our city, and this detail represents our past, and this detail represents a bird that flew overhead in 2003. This does everything that it needs to do in the correct way while still making a lot of noise. And I think I can't wait to see this on the ice. I think it's going to look fantastic.
That was what I was going to say next is jerseys and uniforms just have one look when you see them like this, and then another look on the ice. You see a team of these out on the ice, like in warmups and stuff like that.
Yep.
This thing is going to pop. So I like it. I like it. I'll
tell you, Ovi is going to look good in warmups, no helmet with that jersey on.
Yeah.
That is going to be a good look.
Looks good. So two more down, and I think overall I like both of them. So I saw somebody, I retweeted it. There was somebody that said there's on September 20th is like fan day or something like that. And I don't know if that's across I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find anything. And the specific post was like, if you like jerseys and jersey announcements, you're going to love Fan Day this year on September 20th.
Interesting.
Okay, so maybe that's when we get it for the Avs. And I've said it before when we did these a couple weeks ago for other jerseys that were announced. And maybe the Avs just want to be the last one. Maybe they just want to have that mindset of saving the best for last, because that's going to get a lot of fanfare if they go the route that has been rumored that they're going to go.
And if they
maybe we just have to be, so maybe we just have to be a little bit more patient. But anything, and because I saw that post, I'm waiting for September 20th. If this goes beyond September 20th, I'm not going to be so nice anymore. So let's get this thing over with. So
I agree. I think save the best for last. If they announced it earlier, then this Red Wings jersey would look sad, and the Screaming Eagle jersey would just look sad. So the Avs are really just doing these other teams a favor by allowing them to have their moment without 100%. The best jersey being announced in approximately 5 days, we hope.
100%. 100%. So all right. Well, that will wrap it up for today, everybody. So we will be back tomorrow. We got some things to discuss for that show. And if anything else is breaking in the world of the Avalanche, we will talk about it on that episode. So be sure to tune into that one. But for this one, thank you for making it your first listen of the day. That's always appreciated. He is Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Maselli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you tomorrow, where we're 24 hours closer to Sidney Crosby revealing that new Colorado Avalanche uniform that he will be sporting.
7 in the Nordiques jersey. Let's go.